Good to go for
I do love
episode number 3 of the... No, episode number 3.
What are you on about?
Why do I always start a podcast by I say something, it sounds alright, and then I kind of lose my train of thought, and all of a sudden I forget what I'm saying and say something wrong.
Just like that.
Saying 3 instead of 6. And we've got a new prop to debut today on the show.
We do indeed. What is it?
Just like James, it's a mug.
It's a mug. It says my name is on it. I'm put James.
But you said your name was Jeff before.
My name is Jeff. It's also got this little thing on the bottom. Like, what would you call that? Felt? Rubbery?
Yeah, it's kind of it's foam.
It stops it falling over, but of course if you whack it hard enough it will fall over.
Yeah, James said, oh yeah, it stops it falling over, If I just went like that.
I mean, yeah, but there's no water in it, so when it's got water in it, it'll be...
Or coffee,
or coffee, yeah. I hope it doesn't fall over if I've got hot coffee in it, but...
Or whatever else you put in one of them. The only hot drink I would ever drink is...
Tea.
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate?
Yeah.
Too
I've
sweet
actually,
for me.
to be fair, I've had Lemsip and a meal. But hot chocolate is kind of like the only thing I like tea and coffee. I'm not a fan of the taste, and I love my drinks like ice cold. Like I love it when you like stick if I have like I don't know a Coke at home, you put it in the freezer, and don't knock the microphone off the table.
Yeah.
You put it in the freezer and you get out, it's like ice cold.
Freezing
Even
cold.
on a cold day, I love a cold drink.
Fun story about Lemsip for you. My friend, when I was at college, was sick as a dog. And he was telling me that he got Lemsip and he said it's the most disgusting thing in the world. Which, it is a little bit disgusting, but not horrendous.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Anyway, I went over and he was like, oh yeah, this Lemsip's awful. And it was ice cold, and he made it cold.
That really, you usually tell me, oh, my friends know this person, my friends know that person, my friends went out with this Wimbledon player, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like he invested in Lemsip and he's
suddenly
now a
just made it.
millionaire.
Sadly not. Instead, he just absolutely
Lemsip.
If he's watching this,
Why,
which he will be, he'll know who he is.
Do you want to say his name?
I won't say his name. I will also say that he lived for 2 years off sausage rolls and cold ravioli.
That's a bit more respectable than making cold.
Uncooked ravioli, should I say?
That's more respectable than making cold Lemsip. Then.
Uncooked ravioli?
I'd rather be known for the person who ate uncooked ravioli than the person who drank cold Lemsip.
Did you actually?
Because he thought that's how it was meant to be
I know, but you
served.
see powder and you put it in drinks, sometimes it's okay, but you see a bag of ravioli pasta and you think...
What powder apart from milkshake do you see? Do you put in a drink and make it cold?
BCAs. They're like salts and sugars you put in water when you're having exercise.
I've seen them. What they called the tablet Barocca.
Yeah, like that. Similar to that.
It goes
like a crushed up version of that. That's the only thing I can think of. What, crushed up?
I love
Barocca.
that story.
You love that story. It is
Massive fan. We've not actually seen each other for a couple of weeks.
Nope.
What have you been up to?
I am dying in bed. I've had the flu, which is not exaggerated. It's just been horrendous. Especially because it's in England. Rarely it gets over 20 degrees. Rarely. This summer it's been consistently for the past 6 weeks around 25 degrees mark, pushing 28. And I've been in bed with a massive fever, high temperature, and it's roasting hot outside. I'm not usually one to complain about temperature either.
I hate I hate the heat. To me, it's like I get hot dead easily. So, I just got back from Paris this weekend, and we'd get into the apartment where we were staying. We'd go back out for like a nice meal in the evening. I'd be sweating my bollocks off within 5 minutes. And like here as well. My room's one of them in the winter. Like 3 months ago, I remember I was working from home. And I was sat at my desk and my toes were that cold I couldn't feel it. Like they were like so cold. I was freezing. And yet a couple of months later, my room's too hot, and it like when it's cold,
There's no
it
in
keeps
between.
on the heating. When it's warm, it keeps all the heating.
That's just horrendous.
So I live like my room's kind of like in like a loft conversion.
Oh yeah.
So you've got my room. My room's really small as well, which probably doesn't help. But you got my room, and you've got these two like ramps on the wall that kind of make the sort of bit that sticks out for the loft conversion, and they're just stuffed with insulation.
So it just
stuff.
goes straight. But I don't know how does it stay too hot and it's just constantly.
No, how does
so
it? But in winter, I don't know. The heat just like
it just drains
goes.
completely.
I think we meant to get that.
Considering you're at the top as well, the heat should just rise.
Yeah.
Doesn't work like that.
Well,
What
no,
does?
but I'm at the top of the house, so to speak. But I think we're going to get something called like cavity wall insulation, but which is like basically inject this stuff in between your walls, the wall cavity in your house, and it's it kind of insulates it like that. But I think our house cavity was too thin. What an interesting.
That is a
discussion this
fascinating.
is.
If anyone's still listening, credit to you.
I know.
You get a clap.
You've powered through already.
Jesus Christ. What have we just
6
talked
minutes
about
in.
just then? We've talked
5 minutes
about
in.
insulation in wall cavities.
Hey,
I mean,
travelling Tom, but what other podcast would you go to hear travel stories and facts about
Wall cavities.
about home insulation? Absolutely none, apart from right here on the Travelling Tom podcast.
You're
Like
not-
and subscribe. of
You're not
course.
wrong. Yeah, of course, like and subscribe.
So you were dying, but you also went back home.
Yeah, so I was back home, south of England. They all speak funny down there, according to up here. But yeah, no, just I went down. I was out of it for the whole time I was down there. So I didn't.
Oh, really?
I literally did nothing. I was in
But you
bed.
did
all
one
day.
thing.
What did I do down there? You know more than I do.
Well, I saw you sent me a photo. Or was that?
Oh, Ascot.
Yeah.
Went to Royal Ascot. Lost. No, I was losing the whole day, and I was just like, the last race, I was like, screw it. Put some money on a horse which somewhat resembled my mum's name, called Monarch of Glen. My mum's name's Glenda. And it came in. And I was like, top dollar that.
I'm actually quite disappointed by that story because I was so hoping your mum's name was going to be Monarch.
Monarch, no, yeah. Monarch
Simons.
Monarch Simons, that would be
M.
epic.
Simons.
I'd be, yeah. That's quite cool.
And Monarch also an airline that went bust not too long ago, last year.
I know. My sister's boyfriend's sister was working for them at the time.
Sister's boyfriend, sister, right, okay.
That makes sense.
Your
My sister's
sister's sister-in-law?
Nearly. Well, they're engaged,
yeah.
so I suppose, yeah, sister-in-law.
Sisters to be sister-in-law.
Sisters to be sisters-in-law.
Sister-in-laws, eh?
Sister-in-law, I don't. Oh, anyway.
No more is to be said on that
No more is
subject.
to. No more is to.
And of course at Royal Ascot, it's not just about the betting and the horses, it's about the fancy dress.
And fancy dress, top hat and tails.
And not fancy dress in the traditional sense of wearing a daft costume, being very smart.
Very, very smart. Top hat and tails. I quite like a top hat. A lot of people don't.
Are they heavy?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah. They should sit an inch above your head as well. Inch above your ears, sorry.
And you at the gym, do you like get chain around your head and do
Yeah, just to make sure.
neck weight so you're ready for Ascot?
It's a really, and you can't take them off only when the Queen comes past in her carriage. That's the only time you can take them off.
That's bizarre.
It's really bizarre. Everyone just suddenly takes their top off.
You know, it shows like I don't know, in the 80s and stuff, and you had like women taking the bras off and throwing it at the band. You take your top hat off and launch it at the Queen.
Really?
No, I'm asking you, do you?
No idea. Everyone just took it off and held it to their chest.
Of course they don't.
That'd be sick. Just lobbing a top
Launching
hat at the
top
Queen.
hats at the Queen.
I know what the title of this podcast is going to be.
We're just whoring out the Queen on this.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
this
It's
podcast.
the second title.
She's the coconut in the coconut shine. You're all launching
Yeah.
your top hats at her.
I did see Meghan Markle though.
Did you?
Now, she is an attractive girl.
Pretty.
She is very pretty. Must say. Credit to Prince Harry.
You've put that quite respectfully.
Yeah. Credit to him. He's done well.
Has he?
Yeah, I think so. Do you not think he's done well?
Well, I suppose he has.
She's
I mean, here compared to him, yeah,
no, he's done well.
he has.
He has done well.
He's punching.
He is
shall we say.
seriously fun. Well, he's a prince, I suppose. I feel like if you're I don't know, if you're like a solid 5, you're a prince. You're immediately like a 9 or 10.
Yeah, because what's his Prince Charles?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's
Got massive ears.
he's not the most handsome, shall we say?
Mm-mm. No.
He's no. I was going to say Casanova.
No. I've seen him down my local pub though, down in
Have you?
Southampton. That's a fun fact to you. New. I've seen William.
Or just literally going in for a casual drink, or
yeah, you
for like an
know
official visit?
because 2 bodyguards will walk in. And then William, Kate, and Prince Charles walked in.
But did they actually have a drink in that? Or
Yeah, had a meal as well. I know, because the owners of this pub, it's a little village just sort of, well, I live in a village called, I won't disclose where I live, but it's surrounded by loads of other little villages, and there's a pub in this village, which is close to where the royal family live, and the people who own the pub went to the royal wedding. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I thought that was really cool. I was like, how was it? And they were like, lots of famous people. It's like,
Did they get one of them cool gift bags?
yeah.
Did they actually?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet I would have just sold mine on eBay.
Yeah, yeah, they were selling, weren't they, for like, was it 1,500 quid I saw? I think I saw one for,
Wasn't it more?
maybe it was more. When I looked, it was on, I think it was bidding, so I would have sold one as well.
I mean, what is just like a load of designer cosmetics and all that carry on.
It's just because it was the royal wedding, I suppose.
Have you seen? It's a bit like when they have the Oscars.
No, I've not seen the Oscars gift bags.
Yeah, and they get ridiculous. I think Casey Neistat got one. They get ridiculous things like televisions. Not physically, like they don't get like everything in the bag. They get some stuff in the bag, but some stuff they'll get sent. They'll have like a voucher in the bag and they'll get it sent to you.
I've seen those like Samsung events, and they get brand new phones and like VR headsets and things like that. And I just think that would be the best package to open.
Well, apart from the fact you'd have a Samsung phone.
And that is the only issue. But I mean, you know, I am potentially thinking about changing.
I trust the iPhone. Whoa.
Low-key plug.
What's wrong with the iPhone?
Nothing. They just always run out of battery. That's my only thing.
That is literally the worst thing about them.
That is honestly. My friend showed me the other day that if you go on your settings and you go to battery management, you can see what is running out, and mine's running at about 60-70%. So 70% of optimal is what it's running at,
Which is bad.
which is pretty damn awful.
So do you play video games? Or? No.
Nothing.
Yeah,
I think it's just because I never switch my Wi-Fi or Bluetooth off. But why do I need to?
What do you mean?
Well, my girlfriend always goes on about. She's
No,
like,
I mean at home. Do you play video games?
no.
Never had an Xbox or PlayStation.
I used to, and I really considered getting it back just so I could get better at FIFA and beat my friends. But I've never got through.
I'm quite into that. Well, I won't say I'm like dead into it, but when I do, the couple of days I do go home a week, I
You got an
take a
Xbox
bit
or
of time
PS?
to play Fortnite. Heard of that?
I've heard of it. Always wanted to play it because it looks really fun.
It is.
Is it good?
It's free,
Maybe that's on X Video.
and it's basically you just got like 100. There's 100 of you, and you're all just get put on this like island.
Okay.
And basically, there's a load of weapons dotted around. The last man standing, but you have different game modes where you can have like you and another person teaming up. There's just like two of you. You could have teams of 4. I think they do sometimes teams of 25, teams of 50, and then just literally, everyone on for themselves. So.
Sounds like Hunger Games being made into a video game.
Yeah, I suppose. In a way,
I've always wanted to play it because everyone's raving about it at the
it's
moment.
good because it's not all about like. It's not about like blood, like a Call of Duty where like you shoot someone and they're dying and all this. Literally, like if you get shot and go down on it and die, you kind of just get like picked up by this little robot thing and evaporate into thin air. It's not all about blood and guts, but it's just a really fun game.
It's
to
like
play.
Minecraft type thing, fun. That style of fun rather than just killing things, fun.
Yeah. It's not just like it's like Grand Theft Auto, just doing it for killing sake.
Just like batting a granny.
So that's what I've been doing over the past couple of weeks whilst I've not been in Paris, because that's the other thing I've been
That is the
doing.
other thing that we've been waiting to talk about. I was just about to ask you.
I have, and you've been before.
I have been before. Lovely city.
How many times?
I think I've been 3 times. Fortunate enough to be 3 times.
That's pretty cool. I enjoyed myself. I had a
Was
great
this your
time.
first time?
It was my first
No,
time.
it wasn't. With all the places you've been to, I thought Paris would have been like one of the first.
Well, funnily enough, it's my first time in Paris, and obviously I flew to and from Charles de Gaulle,
Oh, yeah.
and that'll be I've flown twice there. I'll be flying to and from Charles de Gaulle in September when I change flights to go to Tunisia, and the same when I go to China in November. I'll be flying from England to Charles de Gaulle to Beijing, and same on the way back. So,
Beautiful.
having never been to that airport before, all of a
Constantly
sudden
then.
that'll be becoming my third home behind Manchester Airport. But no, I enjoyed the city. I think the best thing about it was just walking around. Like the streets are
amazing.
Just about the buildings that line the streets are just absolutely incredible. You've got those apartment buildings, very Parisian, with the kind of decorative balconies and flowers on it.
It's stunning.
They all just look incredible.
I could easily live in Paris.
I would disagree with that though.
You know what? You couldn't live there.
I could, like, if someone offered me a job there that paid enough money, I could do it.
Place.
It's expensive. Well, that's one of its downsides. So it's like about €8 to €9 a pint, which
It's horrendous.
if you're thirsty, it ain't good.
Well, I mean, you could have tap water.
The worst thing about it though is the queuing. The queuing was absolutely abysmal. We queued 3 hours to get in those catacombs.
Over it, 3 hours.
Yeah,
That's
we
mad.
queued about 45 minutes to go. Maybe not quite that. Maybe it was about 35 minutes to get up the Eiffel Tower.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. Just like in Charles de Gaulle Airport on the way back, it just seemed like
There's always a delay at Charles de Gaulle.
yeah,
always.
there was, and it felt like we're just waiting in the queue, and like every time we went to do something, there just seemed to be a queue in the way, and it was frustrating, but we enjoyed it. Sort of apart from that, I would
Yeah.
say.
Favourite part?
Well, just like you say, walking around.
Just
I think.
walking around.
One of the standout moments was at the end of the trip. We came back to the Eiffel Tower on the Sunday just gone, and we got there sort of about 1 minute to midnight, and the Eiffel Tower was like sparkling.
Oh, that's cool.
And it went off about 10 seconds after we got there. So we ended up staying there for a whole hour because it does it every hour.
Hey, really?
And we waited for it to come on again. It just like it's there dancing in the light and stuff. And hopefully I'll be putting together a bit of a vlog for him.
Beautiful.
What I did there, and we'll see.
Lots to take pictures of as well.
Oh yeah, well, I tweeted about this the other day. Well, that's something I find difficult is being a blogger. I'm trying to be more of a vlogger. I take loads of, like when I've just been and I've not been vlogging, I take loads of photos. But when I'm trying to vlog, I feel like I'm not taking enough photos. I take too many photos and I feel like I'm not vlogging enough. So the balance, that is one thing I always find extremely difficult to get right, is the balance between the two.
Blogging and, well, taking pictures and filming.
And vlogging, well, getting enough for both. But I hope my Paris vlog's alright. I've tried doing it in a slightly different style than what I've done before. My vlogs before have been quite, I suppose you say, maybe educational. Like, you can do this. This is what we did. You can go here. I'd advise you do this. Did it like that. Blah blah blah. So I've done a couple of, like, sort of tried to mix it up a little bit, do a couple of different things. But the other thing I'd recommend doing if you do go to Paris is the Louvre.
Did you see the Mona Lisa?
Pronunciation's not amazing.
Did you see the Mona Lisa?
I did. And people are like, oh, it's tiny and all this. Literally, the exact size I thought it would be.
It is quite small though.
But people say I don't think it is. I think it's just literally the exact. If you said, what size is the Mona Lisa? What size do you think the Mona Lisa will be? I would have said the exact size that she is.
Go on, size it like that to the camera.
It's not A4. It's like, you know, like a poster you get for your bedroom wall.
Yeah.
Like that size.
A
And then
poster?
obviously the frame's a bit bigger.
It is small. I mean, you've seen it soon now, obviously, but I saw it ages ago. I thought it was about A4 piece of paper.
It's not A4. It's not A4. It's like that.
Google it.
It's not A4.
It is.
Well, unless it was behind, unless the glass that it's behind magnifies it.
It is. I think it's quite. Last time I saw it, it's
not.
small. Here we
I'm
go.
telling you now.
Onward debate.
Here we go.
How big is the Mona Lisa?
How big?
Recent
is...
searches. How big?
No, something else. Lisa. Painting.
Here we go.
77 by 53.
That does not help me whatsoever.
77.
53 centimetres.
53 paper size.
That's about 53 centimetres. Probably.
Yeah, but that's not height, it's width, isn't it? Oh, I don't know.
No, we'll just say in between.
But what was better than all the paintings on the wall at the Louvre was like how the rooms were decorated, or some of the rooms were decorated. Absolutely incredible. And they've got their own. Well, they've got, I think, a couple of metro stops, but they got one that's like the Louvre's decorated with like sculptures and stuff, and it's like dead posh, like dead nice. Metro station. That was one of the best things about Paris. The metro is fantastic.
Oh, so good.
I think we waited maybe 3 minutes at most. There was a couple of where it was like busy, so we had to stand up. But after a stop or two, it usually cleared up. Yeah, that was brilliant.
So fast.
We stayed in an apartment. Unfortunately, my girlfriend booked an apartment originally, and the woman that she booked it with cancelled the booking because it literally about 2 days before we went.
Jesus Christ.
Because it wasn't ready. Like they were doing building work on it. Basically, the builders had overrun. So this woman must know someone in Paris, and we got his apartment. Had no Wi-Fi, but you can live with that.
Yeah.
But what was not good was the lack of aircon, because it was so hot and humid in Paris. I was absolutely boiling. But we were right by the Arc de Triomphe, so location was decent. And yeah, I just say the cons of Paris is definitely the queuing. That's the worst thing. And the price. So even to get into some of the restaurants, you're having to wait around. And the price, yeah,
just
expensive.
It is expensive.
But again, I will say another thing. Like for example, the Louvre. If you're under 26 and a member of from an EU country, you can get into a lot like that for free in the Arc de Triomphe and stuff. So because I'm under 26, James. Because I'm under 26, I got into a fair few things and live in the European Union. In the European Union at the moment.
Touchy subject.
I know. I'm still. I've got into these all of these monuments and national landmarks for free. So that is one reason why you should go. Don't be put off necessarily by the attraction prices, because if you're young, particularly a student, and you're from Europe, chances are you're going to get into these places for free.
It is also really worthwhile seeing. It is amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean just to go. I mean, you don't have to go for. I think we went for 4 nights. You could go for 2 nights and maybe not do it. As not go there expecting to do everything. Just do the main sites and have a little pot around, which I suppose is sort of what we did. I thought the catacombs were really cool. Have you done them?
Are they the little underground bits? I did the. I did where all the graves were and all the mass sort of.
Yeah, with all the bones and the skulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the catacombs.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
It's madness, and they're still all there as well. That's
the real skulls and bones of people that lived in Paris
years and years
ago.
It's crazy.
And you just think we're here creating all this now, and we're in literally our bodies like this, but people who are literally just like us one day, but just in relation to their time, are just stacked up bones now.
It's crazy.
Underground in Paris.
It's quite an eerie place to walk around as well. Do you find that, or is it just?
Well, a little bit, because I don't know. You've got a couple of bits where it kind of I think you've got water dripping down and filtering through the ground and dripping down, and it's just drip. Drip sounds, and it's
the worst feeling.
And some bits are darker than others, and but it's going to be eerie when you're literally surrounded by 6 million people's bones graves, or something.
Yeah.
They're literally you can. I don't think you're supposed to, but you can touch them
it's
literally.
Just horrendous. Imagine if that was in the UK. It never happened. I don't think it would happen. Is there anywhere in the UK?
I don't know, but it's weird that you can touch the
remains of.
I'm not saying that you're supposed to, because I think there was signs up there saying you're not, but people will do, and it's you can touch them bones. Yeah, if it was a painting or something, it'd be behind glass, and it's that's almost a lot less disrespectful to touching a painting than it is to be touching it.
Yeah, I fully agree. I just find things like that just freak me out a little. Not that it's because it's just freak me out a little bit. Mind you, I get freaked out easy.
It was definitely an interesting experience, shall we say?
Yeah.
The food. Well, I think maybe it was the places we ate at, but the food was But when we had like more sort of snacky things and like breakfast, we went to like patisseries, and that was the real.
So good.
That was the real deal. I mean,
Paris, yeah.
croissants, pan au chocolate.
They taste completely different over there.
Oh yeah, but nicer.
Oh,
nicer.
yeah,
man.
so good.
The best one, and I had this when I went to Luxembourg. Actually, you had like I'd call it a cruffin. It's like a croissant muffin, filled with Nutella. Oh my god, delightful.
I love to see my favourite's chocolate eclair.
I saw them, but I didn't have one.
Oh my word, so good.
Good.
Yeah. I could eat so many of those.
And I had to have on the last day, and I did have.
Jesus.
And I did have a baguette with some ham and cheese in.
So good.
Beautiful. That's
French
one thing
food.
I wish we'd have got is like a proper cheese sharing board.
Yeah, I know. Paris food, I think, it's just unreal. I feel like you have to really research where you're going to go in the evening, though, because you can get roped into some really like just scams, I think, food-wise.
Have you been to that Moulin Rouge?
No, I was a bit too young when I went last time. My parents have been, and it's apparently amazing.
I'm guessing you've seen outside it. Then.
Yeah, I've seen outside it.
We went outside and just got a photo, but we went to and this is something I want to do. It's going to make me sound like a old age pensioner, but
We are 27, aren't you?
no. Why? How the hell do you think? I can't believe you've been telling people I'm 27. That's ridiculous.
Well, that's what you told me.
No. Why would they say that? No. Anyway, I'm not 27 at all. I don't even look 27.
Don't lie to your viewers, Tom.
Well, you can probably find. It's probably on my
Wikipedia
website
page, Tom.
On my Wikipedia page, yeah.
Podcast.
So on famousbirthdays.com.
Anyway, Moulin Rouge.
Yeah. So, it was such a good evening. We went for a meal, and then we went to a jazz club. Duke Des Lombards, if anyone would like to go. Service was impeccable.
That's epic.
We shared a bottle of Prosecco, which I don't usually drink wine, but I kind of just did it for Gab because she was dying to split a bottle.
Good boyfriend.
And it was spot. It was just like I felt like I always felt like I was like just for that couple of hours I was just like living there. It was some chill thing we were just doing on a Friday night, going to see some jazz. Like I quite like jazz music. I wouldn't like if I was going to the gym, I probably wouldn't listen to it in my car. But sometimes if you're just literally just chilling out at home or something,
live jazz music's live.
That's amazing.
We live on a street where there's loads of musicians, and there's like this jazz musician down the road, and it was like a really nice evening, probably like what tonight's going to be. And we were sat on the balcony, and we just heard this guy just playing jazz, obviously as a jazz band. And we just sat there just like eating our dinner and just thinking, Jesus, it's so relaxing, calming live. So nice.
It is. It's just almost like, I don't know how you would describe it, but it's always kind of just like, I feel so relaxed when I'm listening to it.
They say music can change your mood and like make you feel happy or make you feel sad or make you feel relaxed. It's so true.
It's definitely something I want to go and do here. I look literally after it finished. Or 5 minutes later, it's on my phone looking if they had any in Manchester.
But it's not as the French service, because waiters and things over in France, it's their career to be a waiter. You have to be really, really top of the game to be a waiter in Paris. Whereas in England, it's sort of just like a temp job, if it will be.
Do you?
Yeah, you can make a proper career of being a waiter in France and Paris. Like paid really well as well.
That's insane.
It's weird to think, because everyone's so... I remember going and sitting in a cafe when we were out there with me and my girlfriend, and there must have been like 12 or 15 seats one section and 15 another section, and one waiter would cover whole 15 sections like constantly, and you'd never ever get someone asked for service. They'd always be there, like perfectly when you wanted them, never when you didn't want them. It's a real art, and it's, when you go to a good restaurant or a good cafe and you're just like, the service was amazing, and then you just go to Nando's when you get here and you're just like, I go, all right, you know what to do, just go to the bar and order your food, and then you just walk off.
Which is exactly what you're about to do.
That is exactly. I'm not even doing that. I'm just doing a takeaway Nando's.
Takeaway Nando's.
Takeaway Nando's.
I've never had takeaway.
Never
Nando's
had takeaway Nando's.
Had plenty of Nando's, never takeaway.
Never takeaway.
What'd you get?
Double chicken pitta.
Okay.
Medium spice. Don't want to wreck it with too spicy.
Boo.
What do you have? Extra spicy?
Can't handle it.
Do you have extra spicy?
Nah, I just have hot. But usually I put some.
It's only like the one up though.
Yeah, but hot's like the upper echelon of Nando's.
Jesus.
You know, you can't be doing medium. Like, at least go for like mango and lime, so you can say you prefer the flavour.
Mango and lime.
You know, but I'm all about hot. and there's a sauce called like peri vusa sauce or something like that, which is like extra spicy or whatever. Bit of that on.
Jobs
Bob's
good,
your
mate.
uncle. We usually get like a if me and Gab go sharing platter, like whole chicken, but I get hot and she gets mango and lime. Like a portion of chips, and usually like a. Oh no, actually I get super grain. That's what I've been getting.
Oh, I
recently.
like super grain. Super grain's decent. I can get behind that.
Have you ever had the hummus?
Oh, every time I always get hummus. And that little dippy sort. What is it even? Like, I don't even know what it is. It comes in a little tiny bottle.
Probably
with
too hot for you though.
It's not hot. Is that spicy?
For you, it might be.
Maybe it is a bit too spicy for me.
It's peri peri drizzle.
Oh, there you go. Peri peri drizzle.
Peri peri drizzle.
Jesus, creative that.
Yeah.
I love how they got peri peri chips. Peri peri drizzle.
Peri peri. That's what I get. Yeah,
Peri peri chips. Yeah, that's what I
They're
want.
absolutely
Gold.
sublime.
They are great. It's literally, I can see it from here as well.
Do you think you can see it on the podcast?
If you can, it's just. No, I don't think you can. I think this bit blocks it out. It's behind us.
Ooh. Well, if we want to be sponsored by Nando's one day, we
Oh
can maybe
my-
knock this bit down, replace it with glass.
No, what would be good? You know those things that you get on the table with the chicken, the pole and the chicken, and they come take it away. A massive one of those there would look.
That would be lit.
That would be unreal.
So if Nando's
Please.
want to sponsor us.
Get us a black card. Have you heard about
No,
this?
no, you can't ask for a black card.
They just give it to you.
They just give it to you.
Don't
So we're not just
We're not asking.
we're just going on the record there, and we're not asking for a black card. What we're saying though is, if you would like to pay us to have a big Nando's stick,
Here, we can get a small
chicken
one if you
stick
want.
in the background.
I know Wagamama's do it as well with their chopsticks. They do like a gold chopsticks.
So Wagamama's literally right below
Is
us.
there actually? Mate.
It's just there.
Oh yeah, love Wagamama.
Wagamama, but
Wagwaggers.
well, we're just giving away opposition.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they probably, if you watch it, you'd know if you lived in Manchester, wouldn't you?
And whilst we're talking about what's behind us, I don't know again if you can see, but there's like an apartment building here.
Oh yeah.
And me and James have recently finished watching this show on Netflix called Safe.
Seriously good.
Fantastic show. Don't want to ruin it, but a lot of it's filmed in Manchester, and part of the last episode is filmed there. Part of one of the sort of middle episodes is filmed there as well.
Yeah. And I gotta say, credit to the guy. Is it Michael C.
something, isn't it?
Michael C. Hall or
Michael C. Hall. that's
Michael C.
all.
Hall
Yeah.
plays Dexter. If any of you guys have watched that, and he's amazing. Dexter is quite like a powerful character, same as like James Bond or Harry Potter. American guy, and in this he's English. And Tom didn't even, until I told him he was American, you didn't even think he was American. He plays it so well.
His accent is like unbelievable.
Amazing.
'Cause it's not like I think a lot of Americans hear like a Queen's English accent or like a Cockney
Cockney, yeah,
accent,
yeah.
but he's like come into like a role where it's just kind of, it's this sort of a generic accent. You can't really tie it to anywhere, and maybe it does sound a little robotic, but I just think he nails it. Like I didn't
Absolutely
even
nails it.
know he
No.
wasn't English.
So good, really, really worth a watch.
Fantastic, and the guy who plays in it is called Tom. Even more reason to.
Tom Delaney.
Tom Delaney.
That's actually a great name, Tom Delaney. Maybe you should consider.
Delaney's an Irish name, I think.
Actually. See that? Yeah, but no, I don't want to give it. We kind of want to discuss it, but at the same time, we don't want to give it away.
We're not gonna. But I just say go and watch it. It's one of them, like, it's highly bingeable. So
Oh, I cleaned through it in a day.
same.
Horrendous.
Well, I think we did it in. It must. Well, we literally watched it before we went to bed. Got up, watched the rest. Done.
Done.
So be warned if you do start watching it.
I think it's past the first.
The day could go to pot.
In fairness, actually, it just ends on a cliffhanger every single episode, so you just keep going and going and going.
It does. They've done it really well.
Horrendous.
So yeah, just be warned.
Be warned.
I think one more thing we need to talk about is the massive tournament going on at the moment, the World Cup.
The footy.
Hashtag it's coming home.
Hashtag it's coming out.
So at the moment, whilst we're recording this podcast on Wednesday the 4th of July, England have made it through to the quarterfinals against Sweden, which I'd like to think they'd win.
I hope so.
I'm not saying I'm not like going to be one of these on the radio that's been saying today, oh, they're definitely going to
Oh
win.
my
It's
word,
not-
it's been horrendous, hasn't it,
Yeah.
on the radio?
But it's like Sweden are one of them. They're not the best team, but they can get the luck that England, England have maybe had last night against Colombia, and
It's going to be close. Happy 4th of July, by the way. Is it 4th of July? That's a thing, isn't it? 4th of July.
oh god, yeah,
Happy 4th of July.
happy Independence Day,
Yeah,
America.
Beautiful.
Any Americans watch our podcast?
Yeah, I'm sure we do.
Happy 4th of July.
Yeah.
Happy Independence Day.
But yeah.
In fact, 7 years ago today, I was in New York celebrating Independence Day
There you go.
for the I think it's Macy's 4th of July fireworks display out on the Hudson River, and it was like fantastic, brilliant trip. That I just remember on the way home, I was at the airport, what's it called, Newark Airport, and I just remember like it was a bit like this, and they had like chairs against the walls like that, and like the window looking out back across the New York skyline. And growing up as a kid, I always wanted to live in New York, and like I always wanted to visit, but like I would have loved to have lived there. And I just remember looking back after we went after a brilliant trip and just thinking, I'm getting on the plane back to shitty England in
It's the
10 minutes.
cityscape, isn't it?
I just
amazing.
want to like stay here for the rest of my life. And I went back the next year, then I went back last year as well. So what I would still like to live there one day, but I think my dream's slightly altered in terms of I would just like to live abroad now at some point and just try a different country, preferably Europe, to be honest, because I think quite like the European lifestyle.
Quite like to live in Spain, I think. I think I could do Spain, yeah.
So I like to live in more, I'd say more of like a Central European city, like a Vienna or a Budapest or something like that.
I've always wanted to go to Budapest, and my friends have just got back and said they could easily live there.
Yeah, to me, honestly, it's spot on. Cheap, like loads of stuff to do, popular kind of student, young crowd, good for nights out and stuff. Yeah, you just can't fault it. And they've got about 7 football teams. So
It's perfect for you.
perfect for me. Yeah, but like the World Cup it's probably been the best tournament of any football tournament in my life. I've never seen a tournament as exciting, as enthralling as the
Credit
the
to
World
Russia
Cup's
as
been.
well.
Oh yeah,
Putting it on, they've done a
to,
really decent job.
Although I did see a photo on Twitter the other day of like a little lump on one of the players' arms, as if it looked like. Well, I'll leave that to your imagination.
Just Olympics.
We'll just say the Olympics.
It's amazing they beat Spain, though. I'm not a big avid football watcher, but credit to the upset. They're doing well.
As they matched them for 120 minutes, even after going behind 10 minutes in through an own goal, which the heads could have gone down, but they kept fighting. And now they're going to be playing on Saturday against Croatia in the quarterfinal to meet the winners of Sweden versus England.
Yeah, hopefully England.
And I mean, the thing is, if England don't reach the World Cup final now, I don't think they ever will, because I think next tournament the big guns will have probably put their ideas up.
I mean, I think we're quite fortunate. Everyone says we've got a good sort of route to the World Cup final this time. I mean, they're just such young lads. All of them are quite young in the England squad at the moment.
The problem is it's on them. The heads could go at any point. So.
Yeah. I mean, credit the penalty shootout. I thought, God, these young lads are going to have trouble here. Like the pressure of being. I suppose they're used to it. They've come back through like England under 21s. They would have been playing in big stadiums, but maybe not on a big occasion like that. But
they seem to be handling it well so far.
I think I just would have cried my eyes out.
Yeah, you don't need to. You need to just make sure you keep plowing away, you keep that winning mentality, and keep things ticking over. Because if you don't,
it just stops in its tracks.
The thing is, Sweden are perfectly beatable. You just got to go and execute now.
Right.
It'll be interesting. I mean, the next time we do a podcast, the quarterfinals will definitely have been played. The semi-finals more than likely will have been played. You might get one in before the final.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see the contrast in emotions between now. Like we're just sort of buoyed by the result last night, and
fucking hell, England are in the fucking final.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh my days.
I honestly think England would just go into absolute party mode if they won. It would just be in Manchester specifically. It'd be nuts.
I wonder if how many employees would give the next day off to the employees.
Depends if they're English companies.
social chain. You can just do what the fuck you want.
Yeah, just fuck off. We mention it every podcast.
I know. If you want to sponsor us again.
I feel like we ask every company, we're like, the people that made this, Apple, why not sponsor us? We've always got your phone.
Any mug makers?
Any mug makers?
I've tried pitching to a couple of companies to sponsor the podcast. Well, sort of counter pitch. They've come to me saying, will you write a blog? And I'll be like, well, we've got an interesting opportunity.
Yeah, sponsor podcast.
Podcast, yeah. Well, no dice so far.
To
be honest, I've not actually chased one of them up, so
mate, that could be an opportunity going.
I will.
Potentially, I'd like it if they gave us free food every podcast.
What, Nando's?
Mate, if it was Nando's every podcast.
Yeah, I mean, food's nice, but money.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, money's not the driving factor, but we just put it back into the podcast or maybe video budgeting.
Constant setup.
Hopefully a better replacement for the GoPro, which has been full since about 5 minutes in.
Yeah, and I'm sure I've just completely forgot to press again on this camera, but it wasn't working.
It wasn't working in the first place, so we're probably just down to the one camera, which I think means we should just wrap it up.
Wrap it up, go on then.
We've had a little catch up.
Had a little catch up.
It's been good.
It's been decent.
The sun's still shining.
Beautiful.
Hopefully the heat wave continues, England continue winning, and we are as buoyant on the next podcast as we are on this one.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Find me, all your social media, travelingtom.com.
And everything, Instagram, social media, website, JWR Simons. Type it in Google, I'm sure you'll find me.
You know the drill. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and share this video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to our channel, and we will see you next time.
Adios. Beautiful.